Good morning, good evening, hello, g'day to you. Thanks for listening. This is a medical cannabis show, and I respect the law, and I hope you respect the law as well. Today is going to be on the future and what's going to happen in the future, and also artificial intelligence. Excuse me. So I'll just wait a little bit for some people to get in. I'll give it, so if you want to skip through, you can skip through for 1.5 minutes. I'll give it till 2 minutes. And yeah, what else do I say in that 2 minutes? It's nearing the end of the year. Happy holidays to everybody, to you, especially to you. Today is going to be a good summary of what can happen in the future and how artificial intelligence is going to greatly impact the agricultural industry, and especially into medical cannabis. Won't go on about that yet. There's a few cool links that I'm going to show on artificial intelligence, and there's quite a few slides that I've got just to go through and so you can visualize, like you can see in the picture thing the slide that I made there in the background. This big one, so I'll be going through quite a few. I've probably got a good dozen or 15 or so of those types of slides. It's going to make it interesting. It opened my eyes. But wow, this sort of stuff's happening right now. People are developing these types of tools, and sensors and biosensors and stuff. All right, how long has it been? Let's get my little head thing back. All right. Is that it? All right. No, you missed out on the slide that way. Yeah, no, not. All right, that'll do. It wasn't that way before though. There was a bigger one. All right, I'll try again. Going through a few layouts here to try and maximize the picture. I'm sure it was a lot bigger when I started. All right, I'm going to get rid of me. So it's hard to see if I'm talking though. That's why I like to see up there, because my little thing on the left-hand side there, it sort of swells, goes in and out. I'll just go big and just hope that I'm talking. I'm sure someone will let me know when someone rocks up. All right, today I'm going to show you what I've got prepared. This one shows a few very snazzy looking slides though. So we can start. No, it's this one. Oh, that was these are the slides that I've got. So it's just going to show what's happening in the future and how medical cannabis is going to excel and how important it's going to be from the world when it finally gets legalized across the planet. It's today's. No, well, first I should probably read. I should wait for some people to rock up. Oh, who cares? This is the future in cannabis, medical cannabis, 100-year vision. So it's a fascinating look forward. So there's going to be things like personal cannabis treatments. So that will be like this last one. So there'll be treatments that will be derived specifically for individuals. So by the year 2123, medical cannabis is no longer a one-size-fits-all solution. Advanced genomics and AI-powered diagnostics enable highly personalized treatments, tailoring cannabis-based medicines to individual genetic profiles to ensure maximum efficiency and minimal side effects. I've been doing this for the last few years. I might as well tell my stuff because I don't think I'm going to do it for much longer. It's, for instance, an epilepsy cultivar. So people haven't tailored for individuals because I've got epilepsy. So I'm going to pull all the terpenes out from other plants that are antispasmodic, and I'm putting them into one plant. And then once that tests having high levels of all these anti-seizure type terpenes plus the cannabinoids at the level that I require, that can be labeled as epilepsy. So this is, I haven't really heard many people talk about, but that's something that I've been working on that I haven't shared ever. Another thing for the future, the next 100 years, nano delivery systems. So nanotechnology has revolutionized delivery systems. Nanocapsules target specific cells or tissues, releasing precise doses at controlled individuals. The precision minimizes the psychoactive effects while maximizing therapeutic benefits. This is to do with a slide, I remember. Now one, this one. So it's to do with the different types of, the shapes are the geometric shapes of the particles go and do different things. Like this carbon nanotube, there's round ones, there's triangles, there's all sorts. I went through it a while in nanotechnology and agricultural class that I did, if you wish to look up any more on this. Integration, the third thing, integration with digital health. So wearable technology and implantable devices constantly monitoring patients' health metrics, adjusting cannabis dosages in real time as well. So these integrations offer unprecedented control over treatment, elevating patients' outcomes. Number 4, and the global framework. So once it's all legal across the planet, everything will just link up and go well. I don't really want to read that again. 5, eco-friendly cultivation. So yeah, people are going to learn the ways, sustainable ways to help them save the planet. That's what we're going through at the moment. And then they'll realize that vertical farming, maybe hydroponics, and especially AI-driven cultivation systems ensure minimal environmental footprint. The thing with hydroponics is people waste their runoffs, so they just usually tip them out. They don't recycle or do anything productive with them. So organic hydroponics is a good way with that. I've talked about how you can do that and how you can use your leachette tea from your worm castings to run your hydroponics. And breakthroughs in research. So from everyone being legal, all this money is getting poured into all these studies. So they're finally learning how medicinally beneficial this plant is for humans and animals. And they're starting to unlock different things. And education and awareness. Well, this is especially for Australia, because Australia is piss poor. I can have to say sorry about that to Australians, but you know what it's like. Compared to overseas countries who have some sort of an understanding and not a blind eye to it. The 1%ers in Australia understand here, probably you people listening, but there's in general, people have a blind eye and it's very sad. So once the education and awareness picks up, it will open people's eyes and they will just go, oh, wow, everyone's not a druggo like they have overseas. And the role of AI and robotics, this is the rad bit. So the artificial intelligence and robotics will play pivotal roles in cultivation, processing, post and harvest, and quality control, ensuring consistency and purity in medical cannabis products. There's a few cool, those links that I'll be going through that mention what's happening at the present. And virtual reality for therapy. So virtual reality complements cannabis therapies, so especially with mental health treatments. So this can provide immersive environments that enhance therapeutic effects. So not only can you use your cannabinoids, you can put those glasses on, and you can also get sounds to play, and you can get different outcomes from those treatments. And lastly, a connected global community. So online platforms and forums will foster a good global community with patients, healthcare providers, and researchers, which will share knowledge, experiences, advancements, and drive continuous innovation. So that's the future. Now, once I've read it all, there's the introduction. Go back to the cool slides. So the history, I suppose going for history, you're probably all waiting on those rad slides you said. But it's been around for 6,000 years. There's the timeline up the top. So because we're in the year 2000s, 4000 BC, 6,000 years ago, there's documented evidence that it's been used. And these are all the timelines of when it's been found in throughout history evidence that it's been used. And it was treated as a medicine in 1000 AD. They started to treat it with epilepsy. And then right up to 100 years ago, 150 years ago, the US government, Henry Anslinger and his crew, said it's devil's poison. And now it's slowly turning around again of the 150 years of unjust. So this is really showing the holistic effects that's going to happen. So it's a nice little layout of the room. All of these have got really good layouts. I should have just put all of these into one page and sat on the page and just discussed every one for a while. That would have been a lot better just thinking about it now, because there's quite a few of them. You get all the different effects, and you can see. So this one's going to enhance the lighting, so they could grow all year round outdoors. So if this was in a place where it didn't have frost, you can grow all year outdoors. So this setup would be set up there near the equator, for instance, and it could just function all year round because they've got their lights to change the photoperiodism. Or you could go in a giant big inside greenhouse. And I like the layout. Probably the airflow is not the best around here, but it looks pretty nice, doesn't it? They could even be plastic for artificial purposes. But yeah. This one shows other different crops as well as cannabis. So it might be a testing lab to see what ones work synergistically with it. Right up to the skylights. So a good architecturally designed place too. Look at one floating. Here we're getting into the artificial intelligence. So having the robots doing their thing. They've already got a guide dog robot, which isn't that amazing? Looks similar to that, it's just a guide dog. So it's not far away. This is going to be the future. This is going to be reality within our lifetime. And how's the fans? You just they're drone fans, so you can just have them wherever. Amazing. And here's a lab fully run by AI. So they would have all the machine learning codes written, and that slowly allows them to learn, and they can get on with it. They can start writing protocols and they can do things because they're learning what's going on. The thing is that what worries society is that they can learn so much and start and go, well, why do we need humans? Well, if we do this, we can do this, you know. That's the only downside to it. But some machine codes have to be written to somehow stop them learning too much. But the potential is huge. Cleanliness, sterile, reliability. It's so for people who are looking for jobs also, if they want to get into electronics, it might be the future, because people aren't going to have laboratory. All the labour is going to go out of the jobs. It's going to be machines soon. So you're going to need people to diagnose and repair them. I just like this because it was, I don't know, I think it's the future. It's the endocannabinoid system that will link up with the cannabinoids. And once greater understanding comes, or more so better education gets passed, so that all these studies that have been done, they'll see how well it syncs up. This says medical cannabis rules. Pharma, P-H-A-R-M-A, not F-R-F-A-R-M-E-R. So that's how they want the world to be. They want it all to be pharmaceutical driven, so the big pharma companies can still get their massive amounts of money that they like. And they can manipulate. No, I'm not going to go down that route. So yeah, that's why it's going to take many, many years before they can really get this licensed producer in mass scale fine-tune to deliver a quality medicine, so there's no types of fungal spores or any problems in the end result. Because once it goes bigger, things hide and it's harder to keep aware of. For the craft grower, they keep eyes in every corner. They know what's going on because they're not big setups. So yeah, just for final, I don't support big pharma. Sorry, I know that's how money rules the world, but big farmers, well, they are good, but as long as the little person can grow too, like in Canada. So this is showing how well things are going to work indoor and outdoors. They might have like a shipping container set up there, and that's going to be the lab for the outdoor setup. This shows something similar. Bit of a fancy looking unit part. And this is the industrial hemp fields. So this shows the pastures around that they're processing the hemp on. They're not processing that on site. They got to pound it, and then they got to twine it, and then they got to press it. But it's showing it growing around and doing that. Actually, I got a really rad video on how to make it out of, because cannabis is, the fibers are so tight, if you've ever tried to pull it or cut it, you can't really cut them. So there's a video, it goes for about a minute. Actually, I should nearly post it, on how to make your own rope. Traditionally, these farmers do it, and this is the processing plant. So this should be set up around here on the outskirts of this slide, would be this. So the raw product would go in, and then it would go through its processes and come out as its end result, which they would compress it and turn it into building fibers. You could probably do it another way. Anyway, that's just an example of what the slide shows. Industrial hemp fiber. Oh, this is turning into, look, that's biochar. This is using it and turning it into biochar. So they're heating it and putting it into biochar as amendments. So yeah, that's got nothing to do with this, sorry. As you can see, it's gone all dark, making all homes for microbes to grow in organic soils. Bang, got you, zap. I like that. I just had to put it in, so I just thought it looked cool. I like aliens. Hello to all the aliens out there. It looks like the grey. Hello to the greys, the nice greys. CBGA is new medicine. Not new. It's well, new on some people, but they're starting to grow CBG plants that focus on it, and because they've found that it's so beneficial, just like CBD. Combination, a friend the other day, he was telling me that he got rid of his Crohn's disease fully. It's gone because of the CBG and the CBD from high amounts. And he said he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, you haven't got it. And the mate said, well, you said I did many years ago. And he looked on his records. He said, holy mackerel, I did too. He said, this is amazing. So it's, yeah, proves that it does work with him anyway. There's another fella in the lab kicking it next to his massive plant. It's looking good. Here's the team, nicely in their IPM. No, it's not IPM. What's it? PPE, personal protective equipment. She's too many abbreviations these days. At least it's everywhere. It's good. Thorough. Nice job. So, you know, that everything on there would be as clean as it could be. So that tells me. Not sure why this is putting, this is just the lab, how that's working with the lab, how they're going to pull things out of and alter cannabis and make it more derived for the individual. Tailor-made pharmacopoeia is another little setup. And that's what they're trying to do. They're not really into the big grows anymore. From what I see, everything's vertical growing, so you can go compact. So you grow it like this for 4 to 6 weeks and flip. You just keep doing it. No one's doing the big 6-month grows anymore, because the longer it grows too, the more chance you have in problems. Mind you, they shouldn't have any problems with these environments they've created here. Wowee. This is a nice little health thing, showing endocannabinoids and CBD, working with the brain. What's that? No, CB1 receptor. artificial intelligence can help monitor cannabis intoxication levels in real time. So I'll stop and see if there's anyone knocked up. No one's rocked up yet, really. Oh well, it's all right. Share screen. Is it actually working? Yeah, it's working all right. Okay. So that brings us to this slide. So artificial intelligence can help monitor cannabis intoxication levels in real time. So researchers from Canada and the US have embarked on a mission to transform smartphones into sophisticated tools capable of recognizing when you are under the influence of cannabis. So it goes on to say that, I'm going slow. It goes on to say that the tool they've made, they want to see that when people are under the actual effect of it, because you know how it only lasts like 4 hours, well, I don't know, 2 to 6 or 8 hours, depends on how you have your dose. But there's that definitely wear off time when you know you haven't got that impact anymore. And that's what this device is trying to start to do, to test. So they're saying you might be able to implement it into your car like they have for Alcoholics Anonymous people, or other ways to use it. It's a smartphone tool that can be just change the app so it can work. Here's a study if you wish to read the whole thing. That's about all I'm going to read from it. Next one. Actually, no, I'll keep going a bit further into some of those pictures. This was pictures. Here we go. So that would. Well, actually, hang on. No, while we're on artificial intelligence, I should stick with the theme. So this title is How the New Artificial Intelligence is Poised to Revolutionize Agriculture. So this is just saying how AI was already, the agricultural industry has been undergoing a transformation in the last decade with the arrival of several new technologies like indoor vertical farming, genetic modification, and automated machines and robots. Artificial intelligence, in particular, offers potential solutions to long-standing productivity and sustainability issues and can generate new and innovative solutions without disrupting existing farming operations that have complex installations. No, I read that wrong. Disrupting existing farmers' operations with complex installations or sensors. Also, a lot of biosensors will be having, there's a big future for how the AI is going to work really well, because they need to monitor all these different types of areas. So from doing that, they'll be using sensors, and there'll be all these biosensors they're developing. The biosensors are quite dear at the moment because I've tried to get my hands on some, because you're only as good as your knowledge, and guessing and stuff like that is only as good as, your morphogenic expression from what I can see. So I've got to get numbers and things attached to experiments so that they give more of a graphable, you can plot them, and also a number, a base number, so you can go off. So if things get higher or lower, you know what's going on. So those biosensors are great. Like a porosimeter, I've been trying to get one of them for a while. That clips onto a leaf, gives the stomatal conductance. Here we go, conclusion. AI's transformative power is no longer a prospect for the distant future. It's pressing reality, reshaping the agricultural industry today. So from knowledgeable graphs to based modeling, AI offers tools to address a myriad of challenges farmers face, indoors and outdoors and with people. Okay, next. So Australia, there's a bit of positiveness from Australia. So they've developed, the CSIRO has developed a new AI-powered app for weed management in Australia. I bet you it'll probably work worldwide. So if you use people that listen overseas, because most people who listen to my show are overseas, I hope that it works for you overseas. So if you want to know what your tool is, this is they're using your camera. My soil science had a while ago to measure the soil organic matter. You use Molders. No, Molders is the wheel. Munsel's soil chart, and that shows different colors. And then you do a few mass things and you come up with your soil organic matter numbers. So by using your camera, he said that they're working on one at the moment. So they take their photo of it, and then that uses the camera, and it does all the tools for them in the background, and it comes out, yep, your soil organic matter is 2.3% or something like that. So using the high definition cameras that people have now as a diagnostic tool to work with their analytics, their analogs that they've written to come up with an outcome. So it's pretty cool. So it's similar to what this is doing. So they've gone and on the app, they've gone and uploaded 120,000 images of weeds, and by taking analysis of them, it goes through those algorithms and identifies them. So it's similar to other apps out there that do the same thing, but that's how it works. It's pretty cool. So for those smart people who are good at computers, you should consider doing things like that. So the weed scan can be downloaded from the App Store. It's Google or it's Android or Apple. So go to the App Store and look for Weed Scan, it's called, if you have a problem with weeds. So good on you, Australia, for trying. That's it for there. What have we got into? So this is drying. So I thought for quite a few weeks I've talked about drying because it's post-harvest practices that's often forgotten about. People just only consider the grow as the grow, but it's so much involved in the dry and the cure. So this section is the dry. So this is a wall of sherbet branches drying at a farm in Oregon. And you can see it's how, well, for me, I'm not overly happy with that because look at the air gaps. Everything's touching. So the humidity in there is a lot higher, especially the back side of the buds are a lot higher than the front side. So that's not passable for me. Looks nice though. And that's why I put it in. I'm not going to go on that one. Drying. Oh yeah, this is on LinkedIn through the week, and a company in Australia said they're Australia's best grower, and something along the lines of from Australia's best growers or best medicinal growers. And I commented, well, Australia's best, how about the shadows in the back wall? So the medicinal product isn't finished as good as it could. The sunlight burns off with the monoterpenes. Sesquiterpenes aren't really affected as much with light, but monos are, and pretty much a lot of medicinal cannabis has 3/4 of its terpenes in the monos. So quite a lot of that is just gone, just volatilized off because of the sunlight. So I said the shadows, and I also sent, how about senescence? So things don't look like they've really aged. Everything looks pretty green in here. So that's Australia's best. I got no comment back on that. No one else said anything else. Actually, one person said, yep, good on you. But just shows the education needs to, it's all it is, it's just education, just needs to be improved, especially in Australia. Here's some cool pumas that they've made from hemp fiber. So these are some new cool shoes. So for the future, we might be going back to a lot of hemp-derived products. Cotton, organic cotton, is very sustainable for the earth, and so is hemp fibers. So a lot of things are going to be going back to hemp fibers, like the American flag, that used to be made out of hemp fibers. So I thought that was very futuristic in how things are going to evolve. Once the places are legal around the world in the coming century, ornaments might be these cannabis plants. So they'll be used as ornamentals. They grow fast, they bioaccumulate things, they release oxygen. And I put this into for yoga, because yoga is part of your mental and physical well-being. So they could possibly write these into programs in the future where you might be at home and you can do your own little yoga thing. Have your nice cannabis plants around, medicinal cannabis plants, and get funky, get healthy at the same time. And this isn't really medical cannabis, but fungus does go with medical cannabis. And this is an AI thing, so that's why I put that in. So taking the control of AI, parametric and computational design. These patterns make up buildings and architectural structures that they've created from fungi. So that's the future, and they look quite nice too. Imagine if they could just blow that up and make them out of fungi. Don't know, they might be able to put it in with concrete or something, mix it in with something, a bit of rebar, but yeah, they look quite good. On the future commercially is vertical farming. That's what this slide entails. Yes, yes, it sure does. LEDs, vertical farming, jam them in. But it works good, it's hygienic, puts out a good medicinal product, so why not? Oh, and this is the future corner store. So there'll be cannabinoid-derived products everywhere, in everything, because the medicinal benefits are so high. Once the world can legalize that, well, they already are, but in certain countries, especially like hopeless Australia, things will be, well, the health benefits will be so great. And but the government's still going to get taxes and everything. Like in Canada, they got the dispensaries. You can go to any shop. You don't need any medical card. They pay taxes on it. All these products, they pay taxes to make them, to transport them. They're taxed. So the government's for it. Just annoys me. That's why I don't really get into politics. So you go nowhere. Well, that's the future. And oh, that's right, the biochar made from industrial hemp. Good amendment. That's that thing I read out. Hey, my medicine man, how are you? Mountain man. He's pretty cool. It's good, positive. Oh, this is $5 for the people. This is my membership. So $5 for support, and I appreciate that. Thank you. $80 gets about 15 or so private playlists. There's more than that. 150 gets a 20-minute video call and a novelty gift, like a chart or something I made. $300 is a weekly video call, and that's more so for the companies starting to their establishments, or for a patient going through doctor's problems and wants my educated opinion, because I'm not a doctor. But I'm well informed enough to share studies and to direct people in the right direction. Ken jobs, entrepreneurships in medical cannabis. I like this one. Look, it's a 3D shirt. It's a 3D jumper or sweater. I just liked it because it's different. Don't really see them. It might be for someone who's a dressmaker or someone that's to maybe put some leaves on the outside or a couple of nice big furry buds. Something different. Isn't out there yet. This is to the artist. They could get, look how dry these are. They could probably pick them that they're not so dried and withered. Oh, we better get those into those photos quick. Too late, already noticed. There's a nice little stream. Peace and tranquility. Feel the peacefulness. Just some artwork, nice looking artwork, futuristic. This is for designers. Splash a few little leaves in places and you can probably whack a couple of extra zeros on it and sell it. Hey, the future. Very healthy looking. With the leaves too, this is a good example. see how these leaves, I'd call that in high definition. So you can see the convex and the concaves very well. The leaf margins are extremely in high definition too. The vein is just submersed. It's really, really nice. That's a healthy leaf or plant. The ones that aren't, you can see them not in high definition. So it's a good example of going from a synthetic grow to an organic grow. You can see if you grow side by side, you'll see that organic one will have a lot more of this in it, showing it's healthy. I like this because it's graph. I like the graph, but it's strain of the year. Leafly has reckoned that permanent marker is their strain of the year. Look at that. That's everything to me looks like that these days. A little bit of anthocyanins, really tight. Actually, it could be a bit bigger, but just, yeah, tight, nice. And this is really good too, because see how, oh no, they've already taken the big fans off. I was going to say they haven't trimmed that. They've done a little trim. Yeah, because a lot of, you don't want much foliage on your cultivars because it's a nuisance when you have to go to trim heaps, trimmer time, plus it's growth that you don't really want. So you get ones that have very minimal leaves on it. I was thinking this was that, but no, they've just cleverly taken a few fans off and left only a couple of smaller, tiny fans on. They've done the first trim. It's ready for the second trim now. Oh, and here's some jewelry. So I saw that and thought, oh yeah, someone might be able to make that and get happy out of that. Sit down there at night time with an anxious mind and think, what can I do now? I should do some jewelry and make myself some money. Get onto Etsy and profit. What was this one? I wrote maybe a doco or a book cover. And at least their leaves are nice and healthy looking. They're not dried and withered like that other one. Yeah, that shows pretty good. That might be the Big Apple, is it? No, because Manhattan's not over there. Oh, must be some more jewelry. Is that the same one? No. More jewelry. Stone art. So I titled that one. Oh, and this is some THC hemp water. And I'm finding too that a few companies are labeled, they put in the word hemp on the front of it, but sell THC in it, but have THC in it. So those two don't mix. But the reason they're doing that is to get through legislation. So if you have hemp on it, oh, we just assume it doesn't have it in it, but they'll still test it and go from there. But a lot of people, I've seen it a few times. So here's another example. And I was nearly going to write in this one because cannabinoids aren't water soluble. So I was going to say, how do you blend it? Because I could just imagine you have to shake it before you have it and then quickly drink it. And then it will settle in the bottom of the cup. And then you have to, stir that to drink it. So that's why it's, water isn't a good carrier. It's fat soluble or alcohol soluble. That's the end. That's the end. No more slides, really. I'll see if anyone said anything. No. A lot of lurkers today. That's all right. I hope you've still enjoyed things. Be nice to comment and see what you thought, though. Yes. Well, I'll just show you a share again and see if I've been through all of the things that I'm supposed to have been through. Share screen. Here we go. Yeah, I think I've covered everything. I hope you liked all those futuristic covers, because I really did. I really like it, especially the ones with the robots in it, just showing how the future is going to be. These ones, just showing that this is, I predict far out, I reckon 20 years time, by 2050, this is going to be normal. As scary as that sounds, we'll be working and liaising with robots, and probably they'll be our bosses. And this one's the most full-on one. There's probably a lab at the end of the century. They'll come over here, or they'll be intellectually corresponding with the Bluetooth to the computer as well. I'll probably just, yeah, it'll be great. This is just for the humans to sit down, because they can just go and recharge at the back on their recharge stations, then get back to doing their chores, running more experiments, doing their thing. It's great. You can see it's all hydroponics. So they worked out a way where you can filter the water and regenerate the water. So you get rid of the too much H plus. So you'd you know, that'd be just raising the pH. But there's just ways that they would have worked out where you could sustainably do hydroponics. Where at the moment there's a heaps of discharge, and that's what's creating the eutrophication in society. It's bad. All the runoff goes everywhere, and that's what's making all the streams go, the blue-green algae and stuff. More future. Just different layouts of labs that you can possibly have. There's the labs just inside from the fields. I really like that. Everything's working as it should be. And they're building houses from the fields. So this hasn't been explored much yet, turning hemp fibers into timber and doing this. It's fantastic sustainability. It grows so fast. No, they want to grow the pine trees and do it their way in their 10-year, 15-year pine forests. It's the way it's currently doing it. Then in Canada, when they do their harvests, the trees, they have to let them the fields sit for 5 years before they can replant. So when you drive around, you see all those bare mountains. That's because it's going through that phase. So that changes soon. Mate, yep, cool dude in his lab. The tech crew. She wears his PPE. Yes, hey. Maybe there's a big closed door behind that growing. He should still have his PPE on. He's trying. And these people have got it down pat. Good on them. That's just the science. That wasn't futuristic real. This is futuristic-y. No. That must be it. Oh, there's another one. Showing the workspaces, how it's going to be in the future when everything's legal. People with the little bonsais or the ornamentals. And yoga. That's it. Oh, and then just jobs. Okay. I was just showing. I liked all of those futuristic photos. Yeah, and hopefully they'll be changing this will be all for the better. Soon it'll be all legal. This 6,000-year-old history of cannabis. So it comes right round here, 1970, 88, right up to now. Making cannabis, medical cannabis, and cannabis legal again. Yay. Good luck those countries that haven't done it yet, like Australia, because Australia's going to need it. It's going to be some time, I think, many years. I might be doing it. All right, well, if there's anything else you'd like to add, please add it. Because otherwise next week is let me see the next week's one. Well, next week I'll need your assistance. Next week is a open stream. Actually, the next couple, quite a few are. I've got nothing prepared. Yeah, I'll show you. Next week's, so I've got a few ready in there. This is a Merry Christmas. So that'll be on December the 23rd in Australia, 22nd in the States. But that's the Merry Christmas one. And then the week after that is the New Year's Eve one. So it'll just be, I've got nothing prepared for it. So I just hope that you can bring some questions and we can have some sort of jolly fun. Don't know how it's really going to go, but I'll try. All right. Well, how long have we been going for? 44 minutes. And thank you for the 7 people who are watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And for you who are watching back, I hope you enjoyed it as well. That's all for today, I think. Cricket's on soon. Go Australia. Woo. Yeah, I'm sort of talking to myself here, so it's a bit hard. So thank you for the listeners, though, and thank you for you watching. I'll see you in 167 hours' time next week to do the same thing for the Christmas special. Happy holidays to you all, to you and your family. Happy breeding, happy growing, and good health to you all. Bye-bye.